Hello there, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de vuelta en este maravilloso título y tras pasarnos el capítulo 5, que era una pesadilla total en todos los sentidos, era imposible salir de ahí, pero lo logramos. Vamos a entrar en la Hawkins Mansion, este es el capítulo 6. Justamente hemos salido del Instituto Hawkins, no, del Instituto Riverside, y si no lo habéis visto, pues vedlo si queréis saber de la trama, si no, pues nada. Aquí estamos en el capítulo 6. Este es un poco el resumen de lo que hay. Hawkins Mansion, volvemos ahí, retornamos y vamos a ver lo que nos da. Vamos a darle a Enter Madness. Este es el Cthulhu, el Cthulhu. Esto es UFO.
Who goes there?
That nightmare again.
Sí, es una pesadilla bastante grande. Y, hombre, esto parece estar más iluminado así, sí que parece que se puede habitar. Y ahí está la chica y el policía. Vale. Estoy leyendo lo que pone. La chica quiere ir para allá, pero el poli dice que no. Vamos a Pierce. Tenemos aquí una de estas. Ocultismo no podemos. Psicología lo tenemos un poco abandonado, igual que esto. ¿Qué es esto? Oh, esto está bastante bien, Bastante bien. Vale. Pues vamos a bajar, ¿no? Esto ya lo tenemos todo investigado. Oh, esto está ahora mucho más organizado. Es que parece como si no hubiese pasado nada. Parece como si nadie lo hubiese abandonado. Wow.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
Es que veo un fantasma.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us.
Míralo con los ojos en blanco.
What happened?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine, horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Sí.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Pues ya está. Vamos a hablar con este. You should be dead.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's
Sí, claro.
possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Sí.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back.
Ah,
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I
o sea, sí
don't.
que todos los recuerdos.
Let's talk about something else.
Pero sigue siendo igual, yo pensaba que estaba controlado. Vale, pues.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Bastante raro,
Tell
sí.
me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Sí,
You're
mejor.
right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
Mejor prudencia, no
That
contar
seems
nuestros
wise
planes.
indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Vale, perfecto. Tenemos libertad para irnos. Ah, vale. Pensaba que se había quedado pillado. ¿Podemos hablar con
The
él?
other night's events are still confused in my head.
Sí, si yo te contase lo que ha pasado. Ay, no me dejas pasar, tío.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Perfecto. Voy a ir donde antes me atacó el tío. Ah, Liv. Pero dejamos todo. Vaya. Pues nada. Capítulo 6. Sanders Residency. Vale, pues vamos para allá. Bueno, por lo menos tenemos aliados. Y eso está bien. Tenemos a gente de confianza. Por lo menos ahí tenemos apoyo. Muy bien, vamos a entrar. Ábrame, hueputa.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective.
Bien, tu esposo morir.
We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely...
Hostia, ah, no, es Ska. Esa era la
Well,
tía.
look who's here.
Pensaba que era la otra. Madre mía.
You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
No, no te vayas, tenemos cosas que hablar. Miss
This
Baker.
way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell
Mira,
me.
no te vayas, no te vayas. What the fuck? ¿Qué es eso? No, no. Quería hablar con
May
él.
I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Bueno, pues cuando él
Yesterday,
murió.
I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
Ya, sí, qué loca.
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You,
Ya, bueno,
on the other
va a ser
hand,
difícil.
perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Bueno, que murió. Hostia. Hostia, este te pasa duro.
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are
Hostia,
things
está
that are
suave.
taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute?
Bueno, reputado
And,
buena
and
parte de los
right before
huevos.
your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me, his own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not
Yeah,
here to
claro.
condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders.
Bien, podemos ir para allá. Si me disculpa, señora, voy a investigar tu caso como si fuese el FBI. ¡Opale! Señora,
Is
¿qué
this
es
dagger
esto?
part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Madre mía, artes y misticismo, objetos perdidos. Es una colección escrita por su marido. En ella él cataloga y categoriza objetos de todas las etapas y orígenes que están ligados al ocultismo o misticismo, a las prácticas ocultas o místicas. En esta página abierta aparece una daga de diversas que ahora mismo es desconocido para mí. Bueno, señora, madre mía, porque me ha dado por tocar el piano, ¿eh? Porque me ha dado por hacer el tonto.
Did she really care for him after all?
Dear Madam, I acknowledge receipt. Ah, mira, ella quiso el cuerpo. Le han dicho que en Tururú.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Hostia.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Sí, seguramente.
A house of artists. A house of artists.
Bueno, las cosas que puedo ver están en... Hay algo de color.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Todo muy raro.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Mira, la mujer, pobre mujer, está como, what the fuck.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
No. Asusta. Mejor dicho. Mejor dicho, asustada, sí.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel?
Ay, ahí se volvió loco y se arrancó los ojos.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Sí, para que me vaya loco también. Cubismo. Esto no sé, esto es cosa normal. Paisaje. Cerrado, vale. Ay, pensaba que reflejo era una cosa más que podía investigar. Adiós, señor, adiós. Es que broma. Y esta es la señora bastante incómoda, ¿no? Y eso que es su casa. Ah, bonitos cuadros. Cubis. Cubis. Paisajes. Huh.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Oh, oh.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
No son celos, son más bien culpa. ¿No más de qué hablar?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage.
Vaya, ¿no lo puedo quitar?
Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids.
Ay, madre mía, cállese, por favor. Coño, menudo. Oh. Usted y yo aquí solos, señorita.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Vaya, vaya. The Well of the Coat. Ah, vale. Historia de la isla.
I could use one of those.
Oh, este Prince.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Eran amigos. Y ella le dijo que no,
An
por
old
favor.
diary.
Reverendo Wickman Community. Su esposa expresó su preocupación sobre los extraños sueños que el reverendo solía tener desde que llegó a la isla. Algunos miembros de la comunidad, el marido incluso, empezaron a hablar sobre las visiones como un mensaje de Dios. Ella estaba asustada de que podría sufrir el mismo destino que la tribu perdida. ¿Qué es la tribu perdida? Ya está con una buena hostia. Oh, una llave.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others.
¿Por qué no nos
What have you come
unimos?
looking for in this gallery?
Únete a mí y juntos podremos resolver este misterio.
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
I found this drawing of a dagger. Did you come across anything like it in your reading?
Perhaps. I saw several daggers in the ledgers. I could always check. What I didn't find, however, was the slightest reason why I should help you, detective.
I don't need your services. I can manage all on my own, thanks.
Do it then.
Bueno, no se hace que tanto, señora, que se me iba a besar.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
¿Sí? ¿Y se la acoso?
Go take a hike, detective.
Ahora va a entrar la policía aquí. FBI. Will you read the book? Bueno, tu puta madre. Es una clase de enciclopedia de monstruos y de criaturas desconocidas que empieza a ver que existen de verdad. Creo que una de estas es la que aparece en el cuadro y es la que ataca. Hostia, su puta madre, ¿qué ha pasado? Vale. Pulso la J. Vale. Pierde. Frecuencia también está un poco forzada. Lo tenemos ahí. Psicología también nos vendría bien. Perfecto. Dissertación of the anatomical question. Estudia la forma. Bueno, vamos a entrar en ocultismo. Bueno, ha ido avanzando esto también. Sanidad. What the fuck. Estable. Ah, estos son los traumas que tengo. Water. Vale. La viuda, el esposo, el loco. Lugares. Estos lugares ya los he conocido. Vale. Cultismo, las pinturas. Esta cosa de aquí. Ah, es esto el Samler. Bueno, pues vamos a entrar. Dios, qué miedo, ¿eh? No viene conmigo, me da miedo. ¡Ay, Dios! ¡Ay, Dios! No, no me joderá. No me está diciendo que tengo que... ¡Ay, Dios santo! ¡Qué horror!
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Precolombinas. ¿Qué es esto? Dios santo. La da... Ah, no, esto parece un arco. Ay, Dios santo. La daga. A lo mejor vi el futuro. Por eso había un cuadro mío. Y vi un cuadro de la bestia abriendo las fauces. Y era eso. Ay, Dios santo, ¿qué es eso? Muchos ojos. Uy. Madre de amor hermoso. Aquí hay una puerta. Ay, Dios santo. ¡Ay, Dios! ¡Que esto es gigantesco! Pero este señor debería haberlo metido mucho antes. Mira, eso es lo que pone la pantalla de cara al fondo. ¿Qué es esto? Ay, Dios santo, ¿qué es esto? ¿Pero qué?
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Para matarte. Yo era verdad. Esta piedra. Pero esto no son obras que haya comprado de Hawkins, de Sarah Hawkins. Estos son obras de la secta. Cosas de antes, de mucho antes de Colón. Oye, voy a poder quitar la piedra, ¿sabes? No sé, digo yo. Mira, eso parece de Egipto. Y eso parece de Mesopotamia. Los leones alados. ¡Oh! Menos mal. ¿Qué va a pasar algo con eso? Va a ir la luz. Bueno, se va a ir la luz. No hay electricidad. Pero esto no me gusta. No me gusta nada. Porque no puedo cogerlo. Solo murmura. Pues un aldeano. ¡Oh, Dios santo! Madre del amor hermoso, tío.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Tío, está demente. Ahí está el cuadro. Madre mía, tío. Esta señora vive con esto aquí al lado. O sea, duerme con esto. Vale, antes de entrar en el cebulín. Mira, está puesto velitas ahí al lado. Qué cuidadoso. Madre mía. Esta señora debería haberlo metido mucho antes. ¿Es una foca? Madre del amor hermoso, esta gente está chalada. De veras, me van a atacar. Ay, Dios santo, me van a atacar a mí también. No. ¿Cómo lo sabía? Es como un portal. Esta tía creaba putos portales. Creaba puñeteros portales con su pin, pero tío, esta saga debería morir mucho antes de lo que... Este es el bicho que la atacó, lo que lo torturaba en los sueños. No se está enterando, creo que no tiene ojos. Madre mía. El tío y las drogas. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? ¿Qué tengo que hacer?
What the hell was that?
¿Qué tengo que hacer yo? ¿Qué hago yo ahora? ¡No! ¡Quítate de en medio! ¿Qué tengo que hacer yo? ¿Qué tengo que hacer? Vale, vamos a saltarnos para toda la trama. Vale, cosa de mañana. Pirce. Chaval, lo que vas a tener ahora, lo que vas a evitar es esconderte como un desgraciado, como un maldito desgraciado, y tener fuerza.
What the hell was that?
Vale. Lo que tengo que hacer es... ¿Dónde está? Toma por culo. Vale. Tengo que salir. Vale, tenemos que salir. ¡Abre la puerta! Vamos a seguir probando unos poquitos más. Y luego ya probamos con internet. Vale. ¿Y cómo salgo yo? Corre, 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 corre. ¿Qué tengo que hacer yo? ¡Hostia puta! Métete, métete, métete. Es que no te pone... con los guardias del psiquiátrico sí que te ponía simbolitos. Con este bicho no. Vale. ¡Oh, coño, se está aquí! No existo, ¿eh? Ya has visto meterme, pero no. Es un producto de tu imaginación. Y ahora, por favor, regrese. Oye, aquí no se respira bien, ¿sabes? No sé, quiero matarte. Está por ahí, está por ahí. ¡Oh! Ah, vale.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
¡Que te ataco, que te ataco! ¡Empatita! ¡Perdón! Vamos a ver. Tengo la daga. Se me acerca el bicho y yo le pego un semejante puñal en el cuello que le dejo destrozadísimo. ¡Ah! Para romper la pintura. Vale. Es para romper la pintura. Y otra vez esto. Nosotros
What the hell was that?
corremos como unos pose... ¿Y si le da miedo la luz? Hostia, 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 hostia. Adiós. Hostia, Pero, vamos a ver. Ay, qué Dios, tío. Vamos, me temo que tener que hacer un vídeo bonus de intentando matar a este bicho. Ay, señor. Necesitamos matarle, que sea muy bien a todo esto.
What the hell was that?
¿Y cuál es el objetivo ahora? Vale. Creo que pánico. Hostia. ¡Oh! No. ¡Ah! Dios mío. Corre. Ay, señor. Vale. ¿Te vas? ¿No te vas? ¿Eres un hijo de puta?
Down. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Ajá, lo contamos como astucia. Vale. Tranquilicémonos. No me has visto entrar. No me has visto entrar ahí, no sabes que estoy ahí. Vale. ¡Oh, joder, hijo de puta! ¡No! ¡Hala! Loco, vale, ya lo sé. Vale. Y tengo que arrancarle la cesta. ¡Ah, vale!
What the hell was that?
Vale.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
Vamos a probar. ¡Bicho! Vale. ¡No! Pero esta no se puede. Este vídeo está tardando demasiado. Pero necesitamos hacerlo.
What the hell was that?
Ah, a lo mejor no era eso.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
Claro, quieres meterte y que te saltes muy bien. Ay, Dios, no me va a matar. Vale, pues... Aquí está mi herida. Aquí se termina. Haré un bonus intentando matar al bicho. Pero aquí se termina. Esto es demasiado. Vale. Tras preguntar la sabiduría en YouTube, sé qué hacer. Sé qué hacer. Vale.
What the hell was that?
Paciencia. El bicho está ahí. ¿Por qué entras en pánico? Vale, ahora correr. Correr. No, demasiado tarde. Ay, putito, ¿por qué no corres más? Tuviste que atender a la clase de educación física, pendejo. Me chinga la madre. Vale.
What the hell was that?
Se queda guys. Hay que romper el cuadro. ¡Ay, madre! Que no se le ve. Decía yo, digo, ¿dónde está el bicho? Y no se le veía. Vale. Ay, putito, vete. Vete, putito. No tienes nada que hacer aquí. Este es el armario de la seguridad. Ha entrado el acento mexicano. Mira, mátame. Mátame. ¿Cómo entro? Estamos... Inteligencia, astucia.
What the hell was that?
Es que se caga de miedo, tío. Pero que... ¡Ah! Retroll que soy. Es esta.
Down. This dagger looks different.
Vale. Corre por tu madre. A tomar por culo te vas. A tu casa, putita. Súper alto. Era eso y probar todo el cagar, pero en realidad. No, suéltame. ¿Por qué no la apuñalas el brazo? ¡Mírale el brazo! Vale, ahora a tu casa. Dios santísimo de mi vida. ¡Ah! Mi brazo se convirtió en tinta. ¿Qué cojones? No. Hazlo.
What's
Do
the
it.
matter with you?
Bueno, señora, no has visto lo que he visto.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sí.
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Ah, mira.
You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about?
La peste que
Think
está
yourself
pintada.
lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary
Voy
dagger.
hasta a dormir
You
con
should
ella.
talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the
Qué gesto
ledgers,
más molesto.
it was him who
Así.
sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Ahora aparece el bicho por detrás. Bichos salen corriendo y como, ¡ah! Te quedas. Epa, sí, eso estaba cerrado. Ah, no. Sí. Señora, lo que usted tiene en casa es intolerable. Y aquí lo terminamos con esta pesadilla. Madre Ramón hermoso. Aquí se termina todo. Ay, Dios. Qué sufrimiento, ¿eh? Uf. Nada. Madre mía, 50 minutitos. Aquí lo dejamos, ¿eh? Chao, chao, chao.